top left-hand side, our blue Protoss player from my insanity, it is PtitDrogo. And away to the bottom right-hand side of the map. From Team Liquid is our red Protoss player. Give it up for MaNa. And remember, you can support your players that you're cheering in the chat with the hashtag MaNa or a hashtag PtitDrogo. We want to hear who you guys are supporting. Let's see where this little bar is going to end up. Who's the chat favorite? I think MaNa definitely always is a popular player, but Drogo, pretty darn popular himself as well. Definitely not a known of or something as we get set into this first game of the next series. Again, we got this best of 3, and then from there on out it's best of 5s for us for the rest of the night. It's going to be, again, right now already, Clem versus Euthermal is one of our matches. What's really cool about this, actually, it means that Euthermal and Clem, we're guaranteed a Terran in the finals, and we're guaranteed a Terran versus Protoss or Terran versus Zerg, because we're guaranteed a PvZ in the semi-final, because obviously the winner of this series will play Raynor in the semi-finals on the top side of the bracket. So a lot of insane stuff going on here, and we'll see how it does continue on. And can I just say, as we have had just that little bit of a sub train going through, I just want to say, guys, how crazy the sub count has been lately, guys. We had 367 subs. I can't believe we're like 22 subs away from another sub mode. I just can't believe in general how high the sub count is. Like, we're genuinely pushing on 400 subscribers right now. Really crazy stuff. Thank you so much, everybody, for all the support. Again, it goes a long way to keeping us going. More StarCraft content throughout 2018. Really can't say that enough, because it's so true. Well, 2 Adepts on the way out, so MaNa will look for the early aggression across the map in terms of trying to sneak into mineral lines and all the rest of it. So there we do see 2 Adepts starting to move on over. Across the map here, though, Blue Protoss player is going to be going into a Sentry Stalker, and now 2 more Stalkers. And obviously, Drogo is already looking as though a blink opening is very likely from him. A couple more Stalkers on the way out, though, here from MaNa. So he's getting set up into that as well. The Nexus already coming down onto the natural. And so far in the hashtags, MaNa has taken the lead as well. 62.5% to 37.5%. Keep those hashtags coming in, guys. We'll keep you updated through the series as to who is your chat favorite. 2 Adepts going to shade on by. And is there anything to block these off? Yes, there is. The probe is there to build the shield battery. And that will be that for now. Nicely defended, as his Adepts will not make any progress towards that main base mineral line. Well, as Nexus comes up on either side, we're waiting to see what the tech is going to be. We are going to be seeing this Robo Facility on the way up. So Robo Facility begins to build in the main base, and we're going to be seeing a Robo from MaNa as well. So both players just going to match each other so far in the early stages of game number 1. Slight difference on the Adepts versus the Stalker Sentry. It does give Drogo maybe a couple more aggressive opportunities already, having these sentries up and building up energy. It also gives him very good scouting, because throughout the game now he can hallucinate Phoenix a lot more than, of course, we will see from our other Protoss player who doesn't have a sentry in the early stages, right? So a little bit of a difference there, as we are going to be seeing what is going on with the production tab there. That was kind of weird. I guess it was the difference between... Oh, that was weird. I guess it was because one Stalker was warping in and one was building off the gateway. It's kind of a weird one. Well, Twilight Council is coming up here from MaNa as well. Going to be able to go in towards, again, just the blink early, which is obviously fairly expected. I'm surprised we don't see it from Drogo as quickly as he actually set up a shield battery in the main base. Well, again, everything's so far pretty even. Drogo going to go straight to the Forge. So going to look for kind of the longevity, or the longer game here being in his favor. Because those 2 Adepts are not going to connect to that shade, of course, but they're still being chased down by Stalkers. Just going to be seeing the Adepts continue to shade away. So going to see that Forge going to finish up in the main base right now. And again, those 2 Adepts are being chased down this, well, in towards the center of the map. So just going to be seeing the Adepts finally getting picked away. But MaNa's had so much map control with this. As you can see, this sentry hallucinated a Phoenix, and again, just keeping up the scouting. There's the Twilight Council eventually from Drogo. So remember, we are going to be seeing the, you know, initially the faster blink out of MaNa will allow him to create some map presence, get some control, maybe apply some pressure. But in the long term, Drogo will hold a +1 and then maybe a +2 lead. and stuff like that. So going to be going in towards that. Drogo again much later blink, but eventually blink will kind of be something both players have, whereas the +1 lead definitely does give him a much larger advantage over a much longer time, because again it will affect the +2 timing, the +3 timing, and so on and so on. Mortal's on the way out as well. I wonder if he actually just bypasses blink and goes straight into charge. Definitely a possibility, so we are going to be seeing a couple of sentries, a few stalkers on the way up. Templar Archives is on the way down. Forge from MaNa, who obviously also wants to go in towards that +1. And there is indeed just the charge. Bypassing that blink to Drogo doesn't feel it's something he wants. But again, look at the map control MaNa will create for himself right now. Able to push across the map with all of these stalkers. He's coming all the way over to the left-hand side already. So a good chunk of 12 stalkers here going to be looking to see just what they can do. Remember, it's a bit of a brutal cut-off because the loser of this series will not get any prize money. Same goes for the last series as well. Laser Ellen's outside of the prize money, whereas Clem will go straight into it now in the semi-finals. Sorga's coming around the top side, and we just see Drogo still collecting together over on the left. The only stalkers coming through though, and this is exactly what we mean when we say that Drogo creates opportunities and map presence for himself. He gets on the map, and because he's on the map, he will be the player to find chances, openings, and just weaknesses of his opponent that he can take advantage of. As we are going to be seeing charge now from both players, will finish up at a similar time. Again, just the blink advantage from MaNa. But look at that +2 Drogo chrono boosting along here. And also, I believe Drogo did start up some Immortals a little bit early. In fact, he's got 3 Immortals out against currently. Not at all. The first one just started in the production tab right now. PtitDrogo going to be and a couple more Zealots up here, but we'll be able to deflect these Stalkers very easily this time around. MaNa with the Warp Prism now coming to the top side. We'll be able to attack in towards the main base in the near future and start up that multi-pronged aggression that can be so very powerful. Charge will finish up. The +1 attack is going to finish up shortly as well. Stalkers and MaNa coming in, getting turned away pretty quickly. Again, extra gates still coming through here. We're just going to be seeing everything getting set up and roll on. A few more Zealots on the way out. There's a few more Zealots do join the fray. We see finally +2 attack coming in from MaNa. I wonder if Drogo tries to get aggressive here, because of course he can push across the map. He can maybe take advantage of his upgrade lead. If not now, then maybe he does it with +3, but obviously as it stands, it wouldn't be a bad thing to maybe go for an attack over. As less army supply, I guess it's difficult with the Stalkers always threatening to kind of fight back in at any moment, so you have to be a little bit cautious. As you do see Stalkers around to the left-hand side. Well, we're going to find a probe and maybe a pylon or two. One Zealot goes down, another Zealot gets picked off as well, and we're going to see another Zealot too. It's actually really nice. Look at this Stalker just picking up Zealot after Zealot. The Zealots may have... Bro, 100-meter sprint or what? But you do not want to be sprinting into those guys, and he realizes it as well. Turns away before he reaches the finish line, because his reward for finishing first was not going to be a good one. It was just going to be a blast of Stalker shots. So that Stalker attack all again, the particle disruptors. Blast of particles disruptors to the face. Not quite what you really want to be receiving for winning the race. Warp Prism continues along through the south side. Obviously both players have a Prism now available and maybe looking to do something. Again, MaNa with Stalkers across the map. Looking to find a position. Oh, that's not a pretty blink, because the Zealots came in at the right time to start fighting. Either way, he still manages to get himself a pick off onto the Immortal. Now he blinks up into the main. Could maybe target down the Forge. Would not be bad to stop the +3 attack upgrade coming in and to stop that lead. Drogo is positioned aggressively, but will not push in just yet, and may very well just be waiting for the third upgrade of the game to finish for himself before he makes that commitment. Would be worthwhile. So many Stalkers got lost out here in the main base, and MaNa, well, now he loses a bit of that presence. Drogo has to worry less about that and can focus more on this attack across the map. And PtitDrogo about to push up this ramp, perhaps in towards the third base in the next few moments. Obviously he's pushing up a ramp though, which is going to be scary. If you look at the unit tab, it's pretty even. Same number of Immortals, 1 extra Archon on the side of MaNa. Actually now, well, still is actually 1 extra to the side of MaNa. He's going to be going up this ramp to the top and to the left, PtitDrogo. So here we go, taking the fight on 2 sides. A lot of his Archons to the top side. He just start coming in, cleaning up these Zealots over here. Just cleaning up Zealots will be a big part of this. We will see extra Zealots warping in, and Drogo continue to push on through. Remember, the upgrade lead is something which he invested into early. He had to deal with those Blink Stalkers dealing damage throughout because of his earlier upgrade on the Forge. PtitDrogo is going to break on through. That's GG. It's a 1-0 lead for PtitDrogo in this best of 3 series. Loaded. Let's do this as we jump in game. It's a 1-0 lead right now for our player to the bottom left-hand side of the map. Our current extreme underdog when it comes to the chat vote, with only 24% of your guys' votes. Well, if you're one of the few players cheering on Drogo, let's hear it right now. He is PtitDrogo in the bottom left-hand side of Blackpink. He represents the team My Insanity. And playing for Team Liquid in the top right-hand side, our Red Cross player is MaNa. Time to rally for MaNa in the chat. I know a lot of you guys are supporting MaNa. I can see those stats on my screen. I see a lot of you guys rallying for MaNa, so rally for him now. Give him some hope, give him some love. Otherwise, he may very well be out here. And you won't have a chance to support any further. Setting up into this game number 2. And there's 2 gateways apiece to start things off, which is very standard, very normal for the PvP. That is a little bit more over, the aggressive side of things. As we're going to be seeing this pylon dropping on down to the south side. So, obviously a little bit of a proxy play from MaNa to try and take an advantage in the second game of this series here. Meanwhile, probe scouts on in. Drogo just picking up some little bits of information here early on. Just looking to see what is going down. Stargate starts from MaNa, kind of an expected proxy. The thing is, Drogo, does he see the fact there's already kind of missing a pylon? I guess not, because MaNa actually has an extra pylon, so it doesn't look like anything's missing at all here. 2 Adepts will coming in. Generally, if you're going for a fast Stargate, a couple of Adepts is much more normal. And that's exactly what we see from PtitDrogo as well. 2 Adepts into a Stargate of his own. So very interesting kind of play here. Stargate on Stargate, and PtitDrogo is going to come in and scout this. And when he sees the Stargate, he immediately will just build a Phoenix of his own. And that means he will guarantee himself a way to shut down the Oracle player of his opponent. He even builds a shield battery in his mineral line. Drogo is going to set up so wonderfully here. And honestly, he might just be able to defend with very minimal damage being taken. And that would already put him into quite the lead as MaNa's Adepts do come over. They manage to clean out that probe there. Now they're going to shade around elsewhere. MaNa moves on over. He gets intercepted by the Phoenix. Not great. Getting that scouted is a huge, huge misplay. Well, not even a misplay, but it's just unfortunate. With the shield battery, he doesn't even kill a single worker. MaNa's opening has been ineffective. PtitDrogo will have everything going his way here now in game number 2. Already 1-0 up, and obviously looking to get that rematch against Raynor in the semi-finals. Would be a best of 5, and he'd be looking to repeat what he did the other day to move himself through into the finals of that event. Let's see the probe gun lifted, and is going to be taken down as a few Adepts will shade in here. MaNa actually is going to have to wall off in time, and he doesn't get the wall off. Oh, wow. Well, Drogo cancels anyway, because there is 4 Stalkers. He probably could have lifted up 2 of the Stalkers with the Phoenix, and then the Adepts can maybe trade out. It's a really tough call to make, though, obviously, and you have to make it on the fly. As the Adepts continue to come back towards the lower left. 2 Adepts of MaNa will commit into this mineral line, but 1 Adept gets lifted and the shield battery will do its job of just keeping those probes alive. Shield battery is very good at this, and we will see both of those Adepts cleaned out with ease. Very nicely done. Well, Blink starting up for MaNa in the main base. Again, that ready to roll. Second Stalker just warped in towards that mineral line as well. Phoenix on the way out of this Stargate. Robotics facility currently on the way up from PtitDrogo as well. To the south side, these Adepts are continuing to just pick away at bits and pieces, shutting down that pylon, making sure the Stargate can't come into play again at a later stage. Phoenix moving around, and they do find themselves just another few little pickoffs. Just little bits and pieces here from Drogo, picking up some damage throughout the early stages of this game. And has been just, again, putting himself in the lead, currently 6 workers ahead. Slowly with 1 Adept picking his way through that Stargate. And, well, let's look at the tech choices behind this. MaNa is going into Blink, and Drogo's Twilight Council is much later. The Robo facility producing Immortals already, though, and he's got the Forge started. I need to remind you about that last game where the Forge upgrade went a very long way until the very late stages, helping him out throughout multiple fights. And especially, most importantly, in the big fight that ended up ending the game anyways. Phoenix there are not going to be able to do too much else. They find themselves 1 probe, but Stalker's in position and about to have Blink. These Phoenix do have to be a little bit cautious. And how many Stalkers are here? 6 of them. It's the right number to be able to get 2 volleys off, and with 2 volleys you would kill a Phoenix perfectly. Actually, MaNa definitely knows this, right? I mean, 2 sets of 6 Stalkers. There's no way that's just by chance. So, really, the correct number here, split up right, to be able to deflect those Phoenix and to maximize its chances of being able to pick up a kill. Charge starts from the Twilight Council of Drogo. MaNa will go for Glaives. I mean, it's a very interesting sort of combination of 2 different ways to play this out. The kind of the Charge versus Glaives, and the Glaives can work very well against Charge lots. It's actually really interesting because Adepts will shred their way through Charge lots, but Charge lots will just work so much better overall. And if you're not having to spend, gas on Adepts, and you're just kind of spamming out, if your gateway units were just, Zealots, then you'll be spending less gas, which means more gas for tech, which can help as well. This pylon goes down, and the Stalkers from MaNa will just now blink away slightly for Phoenix and an Oracle from PtitDrogo. Still moving around, and just another revelation, blinking forwards again. Phoenix and Oracle taking some damage, but not going down just yet. Into the main base we go, and that's going to be a bunch of dead workers through the Oracle and the Phoenix, and he's going to be a good combo. And somehow he still doesn't lose any of those units. I think he lost 1 Phoenix in a previous fight, but that really has been about it. Drogo has some very good control here so far. Just continuing to make himself look like the much better player so far in this series. Everything going right for him. I mean, off the back of a very early build order advantage and a good scout. Obviously helps a lot as well to continue playing well, but just again, nothing's really going wrong for him. He's not making any mistakes. He's not screwing up at any real point. So we are going to be seeing that hallucinated Phoenix starts to warp in, and we are now going to see that hallucination going to start moving out across towards the right-hand side. So hallucinated Phoenix of MaNa as well, going to move in towards the 3rd base. Just getting some info here, but again, Drogo really holds the lead in every way. Again, just a slight timing advantage on the +2. I mean, that opens timing windows where you can attack with a better, with just strength on his army compared to his opponent. Your attack upgrade on the way from MaNa. He needs to keep those chrono boosts in it because, again, he cannot afford Drogo to have too much time with that advantage to create too large of a window to take advantage of. What does Drogo want to do? Maybe just keep on building up, similar to the last game, maybe hitting towards +3 rather than +2. Just when you have a few more units, and it just gives you more time for what has been an eco advantage to kick in. And, you know, it's going to be with the Corona Beast more or less when you're maxing out as well, so it's not a bad time to attack either. If you can attack when you're maxed out and you have a bit of a bank built up, then during the fight with the Warp Prism you can reinforce immediately, whereas the opponent is already reinforcing just to try and max out. And so it can work out quite nicely that way in terms of the engagement too. +2 attack, about to finish up here from Drogo, these stalkers pulling away. And a few extra stalkers just going to be moving around, seeing what's going to happen. Oracle as well here, just still around. Revelations available. Yes, there's a couple probes out of range of that shield battery that could maybe go down. It's a revelation on just 1 or 2 Archons, so really nothing too crazy. And MaNa just splits them away, denying information here with his Blink Stalkers. Well, looking for damage early once again, looking to find something for these, and he does get a Sentry and an Archon with this initial push, and now 2 Zealots to charge on after them as well. Drogo is well, not having a great time against those just yet. MaNa might be able to grab himself another Archon. He actually begins to recall. What a weird time to recall, I guess, because he's got this attack in the main he needs to deal with. Prison will go down. 7 workers killed. Meanwhile, though, Drogo's continue to come in over here, so that will continue to go well for him too. I mean, he's just going to push right on into this, and obviously we're missing out a lot of units of those Stalkers over in the main. Recall comes in, but too soon! Drogo recalls with the Nexus on 35 hit points. He makes a massive mistake here. Oh my god, but he comes in with the Oracle from the side to snipe it. Wow. Wow, Drogo kills the 3rd base. And that's a big pick-off here, but he lost a lot of army while doing so, and so MaNa has the chance to counter-attack now, and that's exactly what he's going to go for. He killed off a lot of units as they were focusing down the Nexus. I'm so surprised Drogo just didn't try to fight, but I guess it's because of the Adepts. Well, let's see how this fight starts to go right now. A lot of Immortals in the back here makes a difference. The Phoenix are lifting up Adepts as well to try and take them out of the equation. The difference right now really is the fact that it's more Adepts from MaNa, but it's extra tech units like these Immortals and Archons in better numbers for PtitDrogo. There's a Stasis Ward up here, which he's maybe trying to bait MaNa into. A Shade on top of that would be huge with the Adepts, but it doesn't happen just yet. Drogo, given time, will take the lead with the worker advantage and the long distance mining that MaNa has to commit to now. He's actually going to start pushing into his here with the Zealots, but the Zealots go down so quick, and now he's going to jump on top of the Immortals. MaNa is fighting for his way back into this game, and to keep himself alive in this series. Drogo is still desperately trying to survive, and he is starting to do it. Another wave of Adepts, but he's getting rid of these Archons. The Immortals are still somewhat alive as well, and in the end, MaNa just might be about to get pushed back. Super close at the moment, as we are going to be seeing this couple of units are still just pushing Drogo away. 2 more Archons come in. A shield battery who heals up that Immortal nice and quick. That's huge there, as he does pick off another Archon as well. Again, those Archons continue to fight this out. Adepts continue to go down. Another Archon in the front. Those Adepts shaded towards this mineral line. Well, there's cannons here which will help to deal some damage on 6 workers killed initially. Zealots will warp in to help fight this. Now these Adepts only have limited places they can actually go, because if they do shade away, I guess they're just out of range of those Archons. But the Archons are giving chase, and Drogo, I think, has stabilized back into a lead here once again. If only just. The +3 attack upgrade is something which will help him out. The work counts are even. Army supply slightly Drogo favored, and again, a lot of the army supply of Drogo is much better quality than the army supply of MaNa. As you can see it again, those Adepts getting taken down. And still doesn't even really give him too much of a lead. +1 shield upgrade from Drogo will begin to start. And he'll just go in towards another upgrade here, which will help him with this entire army. So that's Archons and Immortals all coming in towards the upper right hand side. What are they going to get up to next, as we see those Archons coming along as well? One lone Phoenix getting nibbled at by an Archon, and well, Drogo still has the advantages. Army supply +3 against +2. Very, very weird scenario. Very back and forth game. MaNa really getting some moments of opportunity there as Drogo had killed off that third Nexus. Again, the you can see the eco lead he took as the Nexus came up and they came back online. And they're getting back into that a little bit. Huge warp in here. 8 Zealots, 4 High Templar for the double Archon. Masses of Archons at the moment. The unit tab showing us 6 Archons against 8. It's about to be 6 against 10. 21 Zealots against the 17 Adepts. It really feels as though Drogo has this. He's going to put himself in a similar position as last time. This time he's going to be maybe a bit more cautious. The Zealots do start to charge on in. He's got a couple of units that are getting caught up on the right as he comes on in with a bit of a concave. He loses his Zealots pretty quick. And he's walking in some more Zealots from the left-hand side to flank it. And those Zealots continue to come on through. We'll see the Archons continue to push on against this. MaNa is not going to have enough here to defend. It seems as PtitDrogo comes all the way up in towards the natural. Some Adepts from behind are going to help try and shut this down. I mean, Immortals are staying alive through barriers and Prism Micro, but it's just not going to be enough. Again, these Archons just bullying their way through everything right now. For PtitDrogo, he's going to end up taking this game. Number 2, GG, well played, says MaNa. PtitDrogo is going to take this series to advance through to the semi-finals, where he will get his rematch against Raynor.